Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're plunging into quite a world, high finance colliding with the London underworld.
Yeah, a London just brimming with new money, old prejudices, and, well, a mystery that honestly will keep you guessing.
We're heading back, way back to the early 18th century, a time of just radical financial change in Great Britain.
It really was.
Mm.
And our source material is this captivating narrative. It just lays bare this really intricate web. You've got intrigue, two suspicious deaths,
Right.
and the volatile birth of modern financial markets. It's quite the mix.
So our mission today is to follow our protagonist. He's a man with a, frankly, surprisingly complex past as he navigates this treacherous landscape. We'll try and extract those crucial nuggets of knowledge, the bits that reveal how the very idea of wealth started to transform.
And how that transformation kind of bred its own unique brand of villainy. Often pretty ruthless stuff.
Definitely. So prepare for some surprising facts, unexpected connections, and a journey into what our source calls a conspiracy of paper.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Our main character, Benjamin Weaver, a man of, well, truly surprising contrasts.
He really is.
He's a former celebrated pugilist, right? Known as the Lion of Judah.
That's him. Boxing career ended 5 years before our story starts when he was, what, just 23?
So young. But now,
Yeah.
he makes his living as a thief-taker, which is basically an 18th century private investigator.
Pretty much, yeah. Solving other men's unpleasantries, as the source puts it.
How does a boxing champion even make that kind of pivot? It seems like such a leap.
It is quite the transformation, isn't it? But what's fascinating, and he's not exactly proud of this past, but those very experiences, or, being a smuggler, a housebreaker, even a gentleman of the highway.
Right.
They taught him these invaluable skills for his current trade. He got this really intimate, practical knowledge of London's underbelly.
Knew the streets, the codes. Exactly. The secret passages, the coded languages, all the different criminal enterprises. That's crucial to his work now.
And his identity, too. Being Jewish, or Hebrew, as I'd say then, in 18th century London, that's gotta be important.
Incredibly important. He's used to skepticism, faces prejudice constantly, but sometimes, he even uses that outsider status to his advantage. Sees things others might miss.
That complex background certainly seems to serve him well when the cases start piling up. First, we meet this young gentleman, William Balfour, maybe 22, 23.
Around that age, yeah.
And he hires Weaver to investigate the death of his father, Michael Balfour, which he is adamant was murder.
Right, despite the official reports calling it an accident.
And he points out something pretty chilling. Both his father and Weaver's own father, who were apparently rich acquaintances, died suddenly, mysteriously, within a single day.
Yeah, that's quite a coincidence, if it is one.
And to make things even more suspicious, William says his father's estate was quite broken, just wiped out, even though there were reports he'd made profits from market speculation.
So Weaver's motivation here, it seems to be twofold. First, the money £20, which was a considerable sum back then.
Not small change, no.
And second, just the sheer intrigue. Such an opaque case, good for his professional reputation if he cracks it.
But the Balfour case, it isn't the only thing on his plate, is it?
No, just 2 days before Balfour shows up, Sir Owen Nettleton hires him.
Ah, yes, the jovial and conspicuous baronet.
That's the one. Hires Weaver for what seems like a simpler task, recover a stolen pocketbook, valuable papers inside, plus £250 in banknotes.
Okay.
But what's crucial here, really crucial, is Sir Owen explicitly refuses to deal with Jonathan Wild.
London's infamous thief-taper general.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sir Owen calls Wild a mountebank, a scoundrel. It immediately sets up this clear rivalry that's going to define a lot of Weaver's investigation.
And Weaver doesn't waste any time diving right into that rivalry, does he? His first steps take him straight into the underworld.
Yep, he knows he'll have to deal with Wild's influence.
He ends up at this place, the Barrel and Bale, encounters Kate Cole, described as a whore working for Wild.
Right, and he uses this drunken fool disguise to try and blend in.
How does he even approach someone like Kate Cole in that situation without immediately raising suspicion?
Well, he uses his street smarts, definitely. And this is where we see a common underworld operation of the time, sometimes called buttock and twang.
Right, explain that.
It's basically a method where a prostitute, the buttock, lures a usually drunk victim to a secluded spot.
Okay.
And if the alcohol hasn't totally incapacitated them, her partner, the twang, steps in, finishes the job, robs them.
Grim.
It is. But Weaver, in his disguise, he navigates this really skillfully. He manages to get Sarowan's pocketbook back,
Uh,
but some key papers are missing.
so not just a symbol theft?
Exactly. That immediately tells him something bigger is going on. It also just highlights this constant cat and mouse game Weaver's playing with Jonathan Wild.
This powerful rival.
Yeah, Wild's capable of things like sending Weaver stolen goods he was looking for another client, just as a gesture of contempt.
Yeah.
It's this constant power play, this battle for control over London's criminal landscape.
And that power struggle seems to bleed into Weaver's personal life, too, as he starts, maybe reluctantly, reconciling with his past.
Yeah, he initially dreads reconnecting with his estranged family, particularly his uncle, Miguel Lienzo.
Described as a cautious, wealthy Portuguese Jewish merchant.
Right. And their separation, it stemmed from this youthful mistake of Weaver's. He lost a 500-pound negotiable note in a gambling house.
Okay, unpack that. What exactly was a negotiable note, and why was losing it such a disaster?
Well, a negotiable note wasn't just cash. It was essentially an early form of commercial paper. Think of it like an IOU, or a promissory note. A promise to pay that could actually be transferred, traded like real money.
Right. Like paper money before paper money was common.
Sort of, yeah. And losing it was catastrophic because it signaled this dangerous recklessness with abstract wealth, which is a theme we see just woven through this entire period.
It wasn't just the money, it was the trust.
Exactly. The betrayal of trust.
Yeah.
Yet, despite this past, the surprising invitation arrives. A Sabbath meal at his uncle's home.
Which must stir up a lot for him.
Oh, deep memories, internal conflict about his Jewish heritage. And it's here we also meet Miriam Lienzo, Aaron's widow. She's Weaver's cousin. Beautiful, wealthy.
But trapped.
Essentially, yeah, trapped in her uncle's house, wanting to escape his protection, avoid an arranged marriage to this Mr. Edelman.
So Weaver's dealing with all this family stuff, and it's his uncle Miguel who really starts to peel back the curtain on the bigger picture, isn't he?
He really does.
This isn't just about a family argument. It's about the very foundations of wealth shifting under their feet.
Exactly. What's truly striking about Miguel's perspective is how he articulates this profound anxiety of the era, this widespread hatred for stock jobbers like Weaver's own father.
Why the hatred?
Well, the core tension he describes is this bewildering shift from, tangible, stable gold.
Something you can hold.
Right. To paper money and just promises. You have to imagine the psychological leap required. You're trusting a piece of paper, a mere promise, over solid, precious metal.
It must have felt unreal.
It did. It frightened many people. Led to this pervasive sense that value is based upon nothing at all. Miguel even uses the clipped shilling as a metaphor for this fiction.
Explain the clipped shilling.
People would literally shave bits off silver coins, debasing them, but they were still accepted as currency. It shows how trust, even in physical money, could be this fragile illusion.
Wow.
And this financial instability, it's further fueled by this intense conflict between the newly powerful Bank of England and the burgeoning South Sea Company.
Right, the big players.
Yeah, creating these wild market fluctuations that were just ripe for ruthless speculation. It really was like the Wild West, but for finance.
And with this shifting financial landscape, new players, new threats, they emerge pretty quickly.
They do.
We've got Nathan Edelman, wealthy Tudesco Jew, friend of Uncle Miguel, influential within the South Sea Company.
Right. And he tries to dissuade Weaver from his inquiry, doesn't he? Offers him a job, dismisses the Balfour case.
Says he's concerned about disagreeable rumors, harming the company's reputation.
Then you have Percival Blothwaite, director of the Bank of England, an old enemy of Weaver's father.
More connections.
And he reveals something crucial. Weaver's father was actually an enemy of the South Sea Company before he died.
Ah, okay.
Which confirms the importance of this pamphlet Weaver's uncle found, one that maligned his father and others, including Edelman and Blothwaite.
So a web of rivalries and propaganda.
Definitely. And let's not forget Noah Sarmento, Uncle Miguel's clerk.
Right, him.
Turns out he's a Christian convert, a loyal associate of Edelman's, and openly dislikes Weaver.
So the stakes are clearly institutional, not just personal.
Absolutely. Fortunately, Weaver has his trusted surgeon friend, Elias Gordon. He provides crucial analytical support.
The rational voice.
Sorta, yeah. Elias sees beyond the surface. He suggests these murders are about more than a theft. He recognizes a deeper conspiracy, reaching into powerful institutions.
It really highlights that in this kind of chaotic, evolving system, information is fragmented, isn't it? You need trusted allies to connect the dots.
You really do.
And the danger, it's certainly escalating for Weaver personally. He gets attacked on a dark London street.
Yeah, implying his inquiry is drawing unwanted attention, though the attacker gets away.
Meanwhile, Miriam, his cousin, she's in financial trouble, borrows 25 paws from Weaver.
Hinting at a bad investment. Another thread leading back to this precarious financial world.
And Jonathan Wilde. His influence becomes starkly clear. His ruffians actually abduct Weaver from his own lodgings.
Right out of his rooms, yeah.
Yeah.
Gets him evicted by his landlady, Mrs. Garrison. And Wilde, in his gaudy lair, he makes it personal. He implies he controls Kate Cole's fate, says he's closely watching Weaver's investigation.
That's chilling. It's a real display of how power in that era could just operate completely outside the law.
Absolutely raw power.
Okay, so Weaver is clearly under immense pressure. From all sides, really. But he doesn't back down.
No, he doubles down.
He starts following the paper trail right to the heart of London's new financial world. South Sea House, the soul of Exchange Alley.
Basically the Wall Street of its day, yeah. Epicenter of it all.
And he seeks out Virgil Cowper, a clerk in the stockholder records office, bribes him for information.
Which tells you something important right there.
How so? Why is bribing a clerk such a crucial yet dangerous step here?
Well, it highlights this crucial insight. In an era without regulated transparency, information wasn't just freely available, it was bought, traded, often corruptly obtained.
So guys like Cowper.
Figures like Cowper became these surprisingly powerful gatekeepers, holding keys to fortunes or ruin.
And Cowper later confirms Miriam Lienzo does hold South Sea stock.
He does. And Adelman, sensing Weaver's getting too close, confronts him right there at South Sea House.
Yeah.
Still trying to dissuade him.
Still trying to put him off the scent. Denies a connection between someone named Rochester and the deaths. Tries to paint Blothwaite as the villain.
Right, trying to deflect. But the deeper forgery, the real scam, starts to unravel when Miriam reveals this shocking detail.
What's that?
She bought South Sea stock from this mysterious Rochester.
Okay.
And surprisingly, she received dividend payments from it.
Wait, hang on. She got dividends on forged stock. How is that even possible?
Exactly.
That implies cooperation from within the South Sea Company itself, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's the critical piece. It just echoes Weaver's father's old notes. The company is as a piece of meat, rotted and crawling with maggots.
Grim, but maybe accurate.
It suggests this wasn't just some external fraud. It was an internal conspiracy. The dividends show this deep level of collusion. The company itself was paying out on non-existent shares.
Wow.
And later, a South Sea Company director confronts Miriam, exposes the stock she holds as a forgery, confirming that rotten core.
The whole thing starts to unravel.
It does, yeah. With more deaths, more revelations, Kate Cole is found dead in Newgate Prison.
Ruled as suicide.
But Weaver strongly suspects murder. Directly links it to her being able to identify the forger, this Rochester.
She knew too much.
Seems likely.
Yep, yeah.
Then Weaver confronts Deloney, the swindler who took Miriam's money. Turns out, Deloney's also desperate to find Rochester.
Why?
Which reveals another layer. Rochester isn't just a forger, he's like a phantom, a name designed to vanish, a construct.
So Blothwaite, he finally cracks under Weaver's pressure.
He does. Reluctantly confesses, Martin Rochester isn't a real person, it's a pseudonym for the purveyor of false stock.
And this is Weaver's aha moment, right?
Big time. All the pieces suddenly fit. Sir Owen Nettleton I.S. Martin Rochester.
No way. The jovial baronet.
The very same. The missing papers from his pocketbook, his weirdly false claims about a dead wife, his strange vocal disdain for Jonathan Wilde.
It all clicks into place.
It all makes perfect, chilling sense. And it really reveals this fundamental truth of the era. Identity itself could be a conspiracy of paper.
How do you mean?
Well, Martin Rochester wasn't a person, he was a fiction. A brand, almost, used for trust or deception. It highlights how easily abstract notions like identity, like value, could be manipulated in a world grappling with these new forms of wealth.
Fascinating.
Weaver then confronts Fat Billy, one of Rochester's ruffians,
Okay.
who confirms they stole stock and implies Balfour wasn't just killed for his money, but specifically for that stolen stock.
So it was about the paper and
Yeah.
then the final twist with Balfour.
Yeah, stunning. Weaver confronts William Balfour again, who admits he hired Weaver precisely because he never believed Weaver could actually uncover the truth.
He hired him to fail or...
Yeah, he essentially hired Weaver to expose himself, maybe create noise, confusion, who knows. A truly twisted motive.
Wow, and this entire tangled mess, it culminates in this dramatic climax.
At the Drury Lane Theatre, during a performance of Elias's play, ironically titled The Unsuspecting Lover.
Perfect.
Weaver confronts Sir Owen Rochester right there. Rochester, desperate, attacks him.
And Weaver draws on those old boxing skills.
He does. Those pugilist skills we talked about. Overpowers Sir Owen, who then falls to his death from the balcony.
So, case closed. Hero saves the day.
Not quite. In the ensuing chaos, Weaver is arrested, accused of murder.
Unbelievable. Even solving the case lands him in more trouble.
Seems that way.
Good.
So after all that, Weaver's actually tried for murder.
But he gets released.
Yeah, through the unexpected intervention of Percival Blothwaite.
The Bank of England director. His father's enemy. Why?
Well, Adelman then reveals the South Sea Company did employ ruffians to limit the damage caused by Rochester. He denies direct involvement in the murders, though.
Plausible deniability.
Exactly. And he offers Weaver a rapprochement, basically a 1,000-pound bribe in company stock for his silence.
1,000 pounds. Huge sum.
It's massive, highlighting that Rochester simply paid the ultimate price for his crimes. This whole bloody speculation, as the source calls it, reveals the cold, calculating nature of this financial world.
It's not about justice for the dead.
No, it's about the ruthless protection of profits. It really makes you ask, what does it say about a system when human lives are just collateral damage, just write-offs to protect vast financial interests?
A chilling question. And the layers of deception, they don't even end there. What about Jonathan Wild?
Right. Weaver confronts Wilde, who just openly admits he stopped Weaver sending messages from prison, deliberately keeping him confined.
Why?
Wilde then reveals he was actually Rochester's partner at some point.
What?
Yeah, and he had a personal investment in Rochester's demise, hence his keen interest in Weaver's inquiry all along.
So Wild wanted Rochester out of the picture, too.
He did. He was playing his own long game, using Weaver as this unwitting pawn to eliminate a rival, settle his own scores. Everyone had an angle.
Incredible. So many players, so many hidden motives.
Exactly. And the shadows linger, Or Virgil Cowper, the clerk from South Sea House who helped Weaver.
Yeah, what happens to him?
Later found dead. Drowned. Weaver attributes his death to the paper conspirators.
Cleaning up loose ends?
Seems like it. Kate Cole's death is also implied to be part of this wider conspiracy, ruthlessly clearing inconvenient witnesses by those protecting the system.
But there are some positive turns.
There are. Weaver shares half of his 1,000-pound South Sea stock with Elias, his surgeon friend, cementing their bond, reflecting this new partnership built on trust.
It's good to hear.
And ultimately, Weaver finds some measure of reconciliation with his father's memory and, surprisingly, with his own Jewish identity. His journey hasn't just solved a complex crime, it's brought him this deeper understanding of himself, his place in this rapidly changing world.
And then, just a year after these events wrap up, history provides the ultimate dramatic validation, doesn't it?
It really does. Elias's earlier prophecy about the dangers of this new finance comes true with the South Sea Bubble of 1720.
The first major stock market crash in the English-speaking world.
Yeah, a huge event. And it was truly the culmination of years of confusion, abuses, rampant speculation in London's financial markets.
People just got swept up.
Totally. It was a time when, as the source says, holders of funded government issues flocked to exchange their certain investments for the vague promise of company dividends.
So trading safe government bonds for risky shares.
Exactly. Shares in a company whose value was just artificially inflated, built purely on promises. The subsequent crash just reveals the ultimate danger when value is based on, well, nothing at all, but speculation and hope.
A stark, painful lesson.
Absolutely. About the fragility of abstract wealth. A lesson that, resonated through generations, maybe even up to our present day.
What an incredible deep dive into this labyrinthine world of 18th century London, from the grit of the boxing ring to the gilded cages of high finance.
Yeah. Benjamin Weaver's quest for justice, it uncovered not just a murderer, but this whole systemic conspiracy of paper.
We've really seen how the rapid evolution of finance, this shift from gold to, well, abstract promises, created such fertile ground for both immense wealth and devastating ruin.
A world where knowledge could literally be currency and trust.
Well,
Trust could be a dangerous liability. It really makes you consider, doesn't it, how these historical struggles with information overload, shifting definitions of value, economic uncertainty, how they echo in our own complex world today.
absolutely. So what does this all mean for you listening right now? Maybe consider this. In an age dominated by digital currencies, by increasingly abstract investments, What unseen conspiracies of paper might be unfolding around us right now?
That's a good question.
And what personal truths, maybe like Benjamin's about his father, do we sometimes avoid confronting, even when they might hold the key to understanding our present?
Something to definitely mull over.
Indeed. Something to think about until our next deep dive.